Hello everyone, and this is a little cartoon discussion video on Brainrot. And Brainrot is usually like a buzz term that's been used a lot lately, like a lot, to describe basically like dumb stuff in general. like I guess mostly like the stuff that kids are mostly into nowadays are usually described as Brainrot nowadays. But I never understood what the term actually meant, honestly. But I guess if you talk about in terms of like the show that I'm showing here, Cocomelon, if it's just cartoons that just make you dumb in general, which Cocomelon actually proven to make kids dumber, actually. If it's just that, then brain rot is not a relatively new phenomenon. I mean, we had someone who was born in 1990, in the 1990s as well. There were dumb cartoons that I grew up with as well that kind of make you dumb. That is like brain rot is not a new phenomenon of animation that's going on right now, or any new topical stuff lately. So I'm going to go into some details on how what brain rot was back then. In terms of brain rot that I grew up with, the first show that comes into mind is Coconut Fred. Yeah, the obvious SpongeBob knockoff. Yeah, this show was just really dumb, like really dumb, like really bad SpongeBob humor. The thing that people thought SpongeBob was in Coconut Fred, especially since nonsensical humor, dumb characters, like plots don't make any sense, random humor, it's all over in this show. Yeah, this was like old school brain rots, honestly. And the only interesting thing about Coconut Fred is the cartoon theories on how Coconut Fred himself is this unstoppable god who terrorizes his citizens on this island and stuff, which is honestly way too awesome for the concept for the kind of show Coconut Fred actually is. Honestly, yeah. Yeah, I guess Cartoon Network fans, like me and people in general, just come up with interesting theories back then. It was pretty cool. In terms of brain rot on YouTube in general, the Annoying Orange was kind of like old school brain rot. Yeah, especially since it's pretty much the skibidi toilet of its time, honestly. It was very big on YouTube at the time. And I never kind of understood why, honestly. It even got so popular that it even ended up on Cartoon Network in general. Yeah, this is when Cartoon Network was actually trying to like take chances with any show they possibly could. These shows that kids were into. Yeah, I mean that kind of risk taking is what I appreciate about I guess say the Dan Schneider era of Cartoon Network, the Chicken era. They took chances a lot, took my risk a lot lately than compared to now, honestly. They're playing get really simple Cartoon Network nowadays, so yeah. In terms of the show itself, yeah, they kind of overplayed the show a lot on Cartoon Network back then, especially on like the early 2010s Cartoon Network, where it also aired reruns during most of the daytime, honestly, and it aired lots back then. Yeah, the Spider-Man show along with the Garfield show and Johnny Test as well. Playing Sheen was also a really dumb cartoon back then. Now this was brain rot to the degree. Yeah, like Sheen calling the chimp a monkey and stuff, and like they literally copy paste Carl from Jimmy Neutron into this different character who's not Carl from Jimmy Neutron. It's pretty much the same character, so why not bring back Carl if he's just gonna be the same character? Honestly, that's the kind of dumb humor I'm talking about. Well, in terms of the brain rot, the brain rot was kind of funny for like the first few jokes, honestly, when I was a kid. But when it became the whole entire show, yeah, it got tired really fast. Yeah. I mean, I guess, you can very laugh at every the dumb joke that there is, like the dorkiest joke, honestly. The evil guy who's trying to get rid of Sheen, the evil wizard trying to get rid of Sheen, Dorcas. Yeah. I mean, because it's kind of like, it's that kind of humor, honestly. Like the kids will like. I mean, PlayStation wasn't really that big of a hit back then, honestly, because I think it only lasted like a few seasons, honestly. It's kind of a shame that we got this show instead of like more Jimmy Neutron and stuff. And yeah, Jimmy Neutron, what made me not like this show most is that Jimmy Neutron was probably one of my favorite cartoons as a kid. And we got this instead of more Jimmy Neutron, honestly. And that kind of pissed me off when I was little. The minions were also Brainrot for kids back then. Yeah. The thing that didn't like the minions about the most that these characters were like a marketing hack's dream, honestly. Especially since their character designs were so simple and easy to make plushies on. This milk the franchise endlessly with spin-off shows and movies in general. Yeah, I guess they're pretty cute, honestly, but in terms of they don't have really that much personality, and it's just saying funny words and like gibberish in general. It's kind of like the same issues that I had with Robot Boy when Cartoon Network, because Robot Boy himself talks in the third person, but he's a robot, so I don't understand why he doesn't have English in his programming. It's kind of like dumb stuff like that. Honestly, you would think that his characters will speak clear English since they're technically scientific creations, but they're just dumb as bricks. Yeah, yeah. But in terms of the minions themselves, like businessmen and marketing hacks love the minions. Honestly, I guess it's their simple design. Honestly, simple design probably what made kids love them. Yeah, something that didn't age well, honestly, especially since they become the mascots of Illumination in general, Illumination pretty much became like a laughing stock in the animation industry because of these characters. Yeah. Fred. Yeah, I remember him. I don't think I would consider his stuff Brainrot essentially because, I mean, I guess the funny voice worked on YouTube once. Yeah, I think it was the first. I think it was the first YouTuber to get 1 million subscribers, honestly, on YouTube once. Yeah, very cool milestone at the time. Yeah, but a term that I think what ruined his style of humor was Nickelodeon. Honestly, they spammed the crap out of him back then, especially on Nickelodeon. We got a deal on Nickelodeon, and he started the Fred Show, and I think it was the Fred Show. It was 3 shows, I think. No, it was 2 shows. It was the Fred the Show, which flopped, and Marvin, which also flopped. Yeah, I mean, I guess that format of video doesn't work well on a TV show. Honestly, it kind of worked. I guess Fred Stick kind of worked just on YouTube when it's just shorter videos in general. People can just consume that stuff endlessly on YouTube because there are shorter videos compared to like an actual like 22-minute TV show. Yeah, it gets degrading on sometimes. Yeah, it's kind of the reason why people don't like SpongeBob's voice. Honestly, when SpongeBob does the laugh. Yeah, it's kind of like that. It seems like the funny voice characters in general. I mean, I guess Fred Stick could work nowadays, at least in terms of YouTube Shorts or TikTok or something like that. Yeah, I think people will still like that, honestly. But I don't know what I wonder what this guy's doing nowadays. He's probably rich and like a billionaire or millionaire, honestly, because he was kind of like one of the first viral videos on YouTube at one time. The kids loved Fred back then. I mean, maybe I would consider him Brainrot, honestly, but it's kind of similar to like Brainrot. Maybe in terms of Nickelodeon and stuff. Jimmy's Head is also old Brainrot. I guess it's Brainrot in terms of the style of the show. It was because it tried to do the cartoony humor that you see in most cartoons like SpongeBob and the Looney Tunes stuff, but it tried to do it with live action humans. Honestly, and it should look jarring, honestly, for its time, especially since the humor was just jarring for its time, so it looked kind of silly, honestly. Especially since they tried to do all the slapstick humor that was popular in Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes, but they tried to do it with live action humans. Yeah, in terms of maybe out of Jimmy's Head stick would have worked if it was fully animated, like the show was fully animated. Like the humans were cartoon characters as well. It actually would have been not as expensive to make, honestly, because I'm pretty sure these live action in animation hybrid shows are probably very expensive to make, honestly. Or I guess a fully animated show probably more expensive than a live action hybrid, honestly. Because I think the only The only characters that were animated were the cartoon characters that were in Jimmy's imagination, honestly. So it probably was cheaper to make, honestly. Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I think it would probably have been well received if it was fully animated instead. Because the cartoon characters in general on this show kind of decent designs, honestly. Yeah, this I definitely watched a show that was starring the cartoon characters alone, besides live action humans. And yes, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Gumball kind of used to be Brainrot back then. And no, I'm not talking about like the clever humor, very meta, like very amazing style of humor that shows so the show's familiar with in its later seasons. I'm talking about when the show first came out. It was pretty much Brainrot, honestly. Especially like the very it was pretty much the first season of Gumball, like the very first season of Gumball when it first came out was pretty much just bad SpongeBob in general. Yeah, it's just dumb SpongeBob humor all about. As you see, let's see what the different character designs here. Yeah, especially I mentioned the character designs because in terms of what 80s in terms of cartoons, I think Gumball had the best one in general. I mean, compared to season one of Gumball to season two of Gumball, it's not even the same show, honestly. Especially since I can list off examples on like dumb humor from the first season of Gumball. Like for example, the lazy episode where the characters are just being lazy, like the dumb diet episode that didn't make any sense. And when they actually won the lazy off, they got in trouble because the dad fooled them, this mom and stuff. That's also so dumb. The episode where Bobbert, the robot, tried to like disguise himself as Gumball and try to steal Gumball's life, and not one person in the family couldn't tell the difference between Gumball and Bobbert for some reason, even though Bobbert got the barely disguise. Not even Darwin could tell the difference. Even a smart character like Anais couldn't tell the difference between Bobbert and Gumball. Even though Bobbert's design wasn't even all that great, honestly, it's just the same character, but it's painted blue, and no character could tell the difference. Yeah, dumb humor kind of like that. Yeah, and another dumb episode of Gumball was the Mr. Watson episode, where Mr. Watson was just backing up out of his parkway, and Gumball was just screaming out of nowhere. Just kind of screaming for no reason because he thought it was when he ran over, even though Mr. Watson was backing up as slow as possible. And when Mr. Watson stopped, Gumball thought he saved his life, so most of the episode was spent on them just harassing Mr. Watson. Yeah, it's pretty much a dumb SpongeBob torturing Squidward episode. It's pretty much SpongeBob and Patrick like harassing Squidward episode. It's kind of like that. Yeah, dumb stuff like that. Yeah, luckily the show managed to change completely during season two. The humor started becoming more clever, more awesome that way, more meta too. In season two as well. Like I mentioned earlier, the show did a complete 180 after the season one. Honestly, I mean, you can actually see like the funny humor like the later on season one, like when you can see the transition of the show. Honestly, down to even the art style changed as well. Yeah, even the art style kind of changed from Gumball. So the show did a complete 180 in the later seasons. Honestly. And that's probably what made the show amazing. With I guess to say what's that episode? My favorite episode is probably the Saint and probably the game from season one of Gumball. Pretty much what they made fun of Final Fantasy and stuff. The very paradox game child is pretty hilarious. The Saints episode, where just Alan in general, just cracking up that episode. yeah. So yeah. I guess in terms of the Brainrot that age well, I guess Gumball is the cartoon that used to be Brainrot that aged well because they changed the humor in that style of show. Yeah. So that's been my video on Brainrot in general, and yeah, I mean I kind of don't like buzz terms in general because people overuse them on YouTube and pretty much makes YouTube like a hodgepodge of this meta nonsense. So yeah. So this has been my cartoon discussion on Brainrot in general. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and that's it.